Nice, huh?
That's a gay band from Germany. I know them.
I was wearing this when I saw you in, I think, 2018, 17. I don't remember the year, in Porto Alegre, here in Brazil. I saw you with the guys.
When was it? 2000 and?
2018, I think.
18.
Probably.
Did we play Porto Alegre? Can't remember.
Don't remember.
18.
Too many shows.
I mean, I know I can remember quite well where we played. But
was on a Pepsi on stage. You were playing the. I think this was the last tour.
Pumpkins United thing, right?
Yeah, it was Pumpkins United. Yeah.
I've completely forgotten that we played Porto Alegre with Pumpkin United. I can remember every place, but which tour it was. I mean, Aquiles, you know, it's over the years it gets quite difficult.
Confusing.
Okay. By the way, what happened to your hair?
I mean, I'm getting older.
But you still have good hair. But are you tired? Were you tired of taking care, like a lot of time to wash, to take care, this kind of stuff?
I need more time to fix my hair now than it was with long hair. To be honest, really, it looks like, man, every morning when I look in the mirror, it was like, no, don't do that. Okay,
it's getting worse and worse. It's getting worse and worse year by year. Huh?
But I remember the day when I cut the hair. We were recording the Seven Sinner album, and I had to record the song "Long Live the King." And we stopped this record session for that song because Charlie, our longtime producer, had an appointment with the hairdresser, and his wife. She has an hairdressing salon on Tenerife. So I went with him, and so somehow I got the idea, okay, I pushed the 40, so get rid of the hair. So and
cool.
Marcus, our bass player, was completely pissed off.
I can imagine, because he's using the same hair since the 80s. He's still the same.
Reliable.
A real German metal guy.
We call it the keeper cut.
Hey, by the way, Alex Hoshart is here. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Alex.
How are you? Say some bad words in German.
In German?
Like, yeah.
1860 München.
I don't know what it means, but it sounds funny.
Hey, that's 8060 Munich. It's a soccer club. And I don't like this club. I'm more into FC Bayern Munich. Probably you know as a soccer fan. So it's almost it's a battle that's going on all the time. So it's a bad word.
Cool. Okay, do you still like making jokes about football when it comes to World Cup, talking about Brazil?
No. Not talking about Brazil. I mean, that was a completely strange situation for everybody. After the second goal, it was like a third goal within this short period of time.
You know what happened? I was getting home from a show by plane, and then when I got into the taxi, the guy said, "Oh my God, 1-0," and I said, "Already for Brazil?" And he said, "No, for German." I said, "No way!" And then like less than 1 minute after that, another one, and he said, "I can't believe." By the time when I was like getting home, that was 4-0 already, and then I said, "This is fucking done." This was we lost that game in the beginning. You know, very in the beginning, because I think here, inside the head of the guys, they were just realizing, I don't know what's going on, but it's too late now. And like that was just 10 minutes of that game at that time. So that was totally scary.
I mean,
but
for me,
I can imagine how happy you guys were at that time.
Yeah, but after the second goal, it was like, and then the third one, within that short time of period, it was like, and the fourth goal was like, no one enjoyed that high thing because everybody knows Brazil.
Yeah, exactly. And because it seems that was so easy. So, they couldn't enjoy the real game like a real fight, like a battle.
It wasn't a game anymore. It was like, I don't know. I mean, everyone was happy in Germany that we won that game and that we finally could make it into the final. But hey, 7, forget about that number. We see our the next time, and then it's completely different. And just to mention, I guess it's a real head thing, a mindset, because the Brazilians World Championship back home, half final, I guess they had too much pressure going, and then you lose. I mean, if you go on stage with such a pressure in your mind, hey, forget about it.
Okay, so Alex is here, and he said Strodi for you, Strodi. So, Danny, let me talk to the Brazilian guys, and when we start like the real interview, like when you say something cool, we're gonna translate this for the audience, okay? Like in small words to make it more enjoyable for the guys. Ok, so, galera, então é o seguinte, quem tiver pergunta pro Danny, pode mandar no Superchat, que a gente vai botar aqui na tela. Lembrando que o Superchat vai para a União Musical mais uma vez, então é só vocês mandarem. A gente tem perguntas muito boas aqui, mas se vocês quiserem saber alguma coisa, é só vocês mandarem o Superchat aqui, ok? So, Danny Loeble.
No.
Loeble. Yeah?
I can't remember. I can't
Almost
remember.
There. Loeble. Say.
Loeble. Little wider. Loeble.
So, Danny. So, Danny, thank you so much for joining us for this amazing cause that we are raising money for this institution in Brazil called Music Union. So we are helping all the money that people are gonna send here to make questions for you. We're gonna send this to this organization that is helping musicians and technicians that are having like a hard time during this pandemic. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us. So what was going on in your life when the pandemic started, and how did it affect your life and the band's plan?
Right at the moment, do you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, because I have a bad connection, but all good. As long as you can hear me, all good. So what's up in my life at the moment? So we recorded, as you know, a new Pumpkins United album, which will be released somewhere by the next year. So we don't know because of the current situation of Corona. So lately, last week, we filmed the first video.
Okay.
For the first single, and we had a photo shoot, and now we're back on vacation, waiting what things doing with us.
Okay, but were you guys planning to do something this year with the band, like shows or festival, or you are just focused in recording the new album?
I mean, the recordings has been done, so the mix has been done. So we have, as you know, we have to postpone the tour to the next year for the next year, but nobody knows exactly what will happen then, if we can play the shows. So we are still back home and waiting, and in between I do some recordings for German artists, or just, to be honest, I enjoyed the first time that I've been in Helloween. It's the first time that I have or find time to practice And that's what I really enjoy at the moment, to practice a bit.
Okay, cool. So, is there anything new and productive that you are learning during this pandemic? And how are you enjoying your free time?
What I've learned through this pandemic, I mean, a lot about hygiene, washing your hands and all that stuff, and this about virus, and so that's what. Yeah, amen. Even in the gym, after a workout, you have to clean the weights and all that stuff. What I've never had done before. So now I realize, wow, what an arsehole I've been for such a long time. I mean, you didn't care. I didn't care about height in the gym or height in wherever I was. So that's what I've learned, to be more about washing hands and keep distance and all that stuff. And to be, what was the second question?
The second question is, how are you enjoying your free time, since you were always on tour, and how are you enjoying?
Yeah, as I said, I really enjoy.
So, like, do you have a routine? Do you have a routine where you do things at home and then you go to the practice room, or you every day is a blank sheet and you start doing whatever you want?
No. I'm a German. So
that's why we are laughing about you when you are trying to get connected and your camera was not working.
Yeah. Oh man, I can tell you. Yeah, I make a laugh about myself. Hey, why not? But of course, you need to have a daily routine, and so I get up 6 in the morning. I'm an early bird, and then I go straight to the gym.
Wow.
So 6, 6:30, yeah, something like this, yeah.
So and then
I go to the gym.
Keep going.
Okay, I go, and then I go to the gym for 2 hours or 1 hour, depends on how many people I bump into to have a nice chat with. Could be 2 hours, and then I go back, have brekkie, and then I enter the rehearsal room for at least 3-4 hours, and then I go back, fix a little bit food, dinner for my wife and me, because she has a daily work out to do in a point of a job, and then we spend the night together, and that's it.
That's cool. So, has the band spoken frequently during this pandemic? Who is your closest partner in the band? Like your best friend in the band?
My best friend in the band is my manager, because he gives me the money.
And how often are you guys chatting? Do you have like a WhatsApp group where you can talk daily about what you guys are doing, or you are German guys and you want to stay away from each other when you are not touring?
We're kind of German guys. And of course, we do have a WhatsApp group where we texting back and forth some funny jokes and stuff, and talking about some whatever it's up to. And jamming, we never jam except tourists coming up. So then we go into the rehearsal room and jam a bit, because we are spread all over Europe, Tenerife, Hamburg, Berlin, and wherever, Switzerland, Czech Republic, I guess now. So it's quite difficult to get together for a short, spontaneous jam session. So it has to be well planned, because it costs heaps of money to get the people together. So, but we just do some WhatsApp stuff and do some phone calls, and hey, that's it. That's enough. I mean, we've been on tour for such a long time, and we can do with a little pause.
I totally understand. Yeah. So, how did you join the band, and what was going on? What was going on in your musical life when they call you to join Helloween, and how did that happen? And how was your audition?
Actually, oh man, that's 15 or 16 years ago, And I mean, with my former band, we were already recording at Andy's house or studio on Tenerife, so we were in contact with each other, and so we had the same producer, Charlie. And when it came to the day to where they were looking for a new drummer during the Legacy or Keeper 3 album recordings, so they called me, and so I remember the day. It was Friday, and Charlie was calling me, and he was asking, "Hey, what are you doing?" So, and I said, "Okay, what do you really want of me?" And he said, "Okay, listen. In Stuttgart at the airport, there is a ticket to Tenerife waiting for you. Just take the ticket and take the flight and come down here, and the rest you will see." So I took the flight.
Wow, just like that?
I mean, yeah, just like that. So, and I entered the studio and I recorded 3 songs. And after the 3rd song, Sasha, our guitar player, entered the studio one morning, completely excited, and was asking me, "Danny, would you like to join Helloween?" And I was like, if somebody would ask me, if someone asked me, I would say yes. So, and he was like, "Okay, it's up to me. I ask you, fancy joining Helloween?" I was like, "Yes, I'll do." And the rest is history. So
Cool.
So I had the entire album then, and the rest is history. I mean, that's 16 years, I guess, ago. And drumming wise, man, it was completely. It freaked me out at the beginning because Helloween sounds really at the first listen. It sounds really easy and cheesy, but if you take a closer look or listen closely to it, it's you know, I know, and it's
a lot of work.
kind of progressive. It's a kind of progressive metal, and I had to adapt all the kind of distinctive features Ingo came up with, and Uli and stuff like this. And so during it was at the beginning, it was quite tricky to me because it was strong. So, but after a couple of years, so I'm used to it, and I can say, hey, yeah, it became my style. It's my style. Meanwhile, I combined Uli's drumming with Ingo's drumming, with my sense of taste and whatever. And over the years, I developed the kind of Helloween Dani drumming. And every time when I play for other people, you can hear the distinctive features of Helloween drumming. So I became a kind of a Halloweeny. So thank the Lord. I'm completely happy.
Cool. So when you joined the guys in the studio, were like all the band there, and what songs did you record for this audition?
Actually, it was no audition, I was called as a studio drummer.
Okay.
You know, there was no audition.
Okay.
No audition.
So that was just Sasha in studio.
Yeah, Sasha was around. and Mikey, of course, because he lives on Tenerife, and Andy. But when I recorded the drums, no one was around.
Okay.
So I was on my own with Charlie, and of course Mikey popped into sometimes occasionally, but so actually most of the time I was on my own with Charlie. And the first song I remember quite well was Get It Up.
Get It Up. Okay, cool. So let me translate a little bit for the Brazilians, because this is cool. Galera, eu esqueci a gente passou por cima 4 perguntas aqui, 4. Então, a primeira foi o que estava acontecendo na sua vida, né, durante a pandemia e tal. E ele falou que eles estavam gravando o disco, eles acabaram já o disco, estava tudo pronto e eles tinham planos de começar a fazer a turnê, só que daí tudo parou, né? E a segunda foi se tinha alguma coisa produtiva que ele aprendeu, né, durante essa pandemia e tal, e se ele está aproveitando bem o tempo livre dele. Ele falou que, como um cara alemão, né, tipo, ele tem uma rotina diária, que ele acorda sempre muito cedo, tipo 6, 6:30, e aí ele vai para academia, ele passa muito tempo dentro dessa sala onde ele está, que é tipo um complexo de Golgi, onde tem estúdios e lugares onde ele guarda equipamento dele. Então, tipo assim, ele passa muito tempo ali. E aí, outra coisa, a terceira pergunta foi, tipo, que se a banda se fala frequentemente, né? Se tem grupo de WhatsApp e tal. E eu perguntei para ele qual que era o parceiro mais próximo dele, assim, de banda, né? E ele falou que era o empresário dele, porque era o cara que pagava ele. E aí ele não tocou mais nesse assunto de parceiros de banda e tal. Eu também não alfinetei lá para não, se o cara não quer falar, a gente não vai falar. E se eles, né, tipo assim, os caras vivem cada um em uma região, então eles não se falam assim tão frequentemente, sempre que a banda tem que se reunir, é uma puta de uma grana, né? E aí a quarta pergunta que ele acabou de responder foi como que ele entrou na banda, né, o que estava acontecendo na vida dele. E aí eu perguntei se tinha uma audição. Como o áudio estava meio atrasando, eu não entendi muito bem uma parte, perguntei outra vez sobre que músicas que ele fez a audição, mas aí ele falou que não teve audição tocando músicas do Helloween, que ele estava na Alemanha, o Charlie Bauerfeind, que era o produtor, né, que foi até produtor do Angra no passado, junto com o Sacha, e aí, tipo, ele falou que esse cara ligou para ele e falou, meu, tem uma passagem de avião, vem aqui pro meu estúdio. Não, vem pro estúdio em Tenerife, que é o estúdio onde o Andy Darius, o estúdio do Andy, né, onde ele vive. E aí ele falou assim, vem para cá que você vai fazer umas gravações aqui, e é isso. O resto você vai saber quando você chegar lá. E ele falou que foi uma sexta-feira e ele falou, bom, vou lá, né? Chegou lá, o cara pediu para ele gravar, tipo assim, 3 músicas, ele gravou 3 músicas, e num determinado momento, o Sacha, guitarrista da banda, chegou para ele assim, meu, se alguém te chamasse para entrar no Helloween, você toparia, né? Aí ele fez assim, eu sim, claro que sim, né? E aí ele falou assim, que os caras mais queriam ver a situação dele em estúdio, para ver se ele tocava mesmo, porque é no estúdio que a verdade aparece. Então aí foi simplesmente assim, não teve teste de tocar música do Helloween para ele entrar na banda. Foi simplesmente, eles queriam ver como que era, e aí ele falou que a primeira música que ele gravou foi... Qual que era o nome, Gilson? Get Up? Get Up, Get It Up. Alguma coisa assim.
Get It Up.
Get It Up, right? Então é isso aí, galera. Vamos...
2 cogumelos.
Okay. 2 cogumelos. Gilson, você tá com o teu microfone mutado, tá? Só para você saber. Okay, so one more question, and then we're gonna start with the super chat because we have some here. So, when you joined the band, how was the band's internal atmosphere? Because Roland and Yuli, they did not live in a such friendly way. So, what was going on in the band at that time?
It was yeah, it was kind of tricky in every way. They were kind of in a slump, you know, because of the market wasn't good at this time, and they changed management. They changed to a bottom row where we've been now for 15 years. I guess they came on the table at the same time when I joined the band, and so the drummer thing. I mean, when you record a record and the drummer doesn't work, or you have no drummer, so it's yeah, they were kind of in a slump, as I said, and yeah, even though they were in a good mood, even though it wasn't a tricky time. So but we didn't talk that much about Uli and Roland at this time. So we were more into the future, and yeah, to get the situation tackled, we were kind of more focused to what was up back then, you know. And Helloween is not a band, or the guys Mikey, Andy, and Marcus, and so these guys aren't any bad rapping boys. They do not bad rapping about former members or whatever, you know. Like, of course, we talk about it time to time to get that thing tackled, whatever. But there's no bad word at all. So
that's cool.
Every former band member, such as Uli or Roland, both of them were quite important for a short period of time, and they left for the band, and they left their footprints. And so the boys know this quite well. So no bad rapping at all. And of course, as said, we talk time to time about it, but no bad words. So.
Okay, cool.
The mood was actually quite good, even though they were kind of concerned about the future because of the change of the management and the market and so on. But now everything has changed, and we are completely up at the pinnacle probably of our career with this Pumpkins United thing, and the band is bigger than ever.
Yeah.
And even with Kai and Michi, so we jail together now after 3 years on the road, and I can say, hey, we became a real good friendship. We got a real good friendship, and yeah, we enjoy what we do, what we are doing, and hope the fans do it the same way. Yeah.
Cool. Gilson, let's put the first chat from Andre, because it's the same subject.
Andre was saying 20. My audio is okay?
I can see.
Tá ruim o teu áudio. Tá com voz de robô.
Okay.
Okay, can I read for you?
Can you read it for me?
Okay, yeah.
I can read.
No, I can read for you then.
I read the.
Okay, so so this guy, Andre FL, he sent $20, and he's asking why Roland, Grepon, and Ulikash did not participate in Pumping United tour.
Yeah, I was concerned about those questions. But let's take
it. This is not my question, okay?
No. All good. Yeah, but we to be honest, we gave some thought about it, to be honest. Yeah. But we decided to strip down that lineup to the real beginning. Yeah.
Okay.
And Uli and Grapov aren't part of the beginning. So we put in Kai, who was the founder together with Marcus and Waiki of Helloween, of course. And I'm Michi is supposed or considered to be, beside Andy, the voice of Helloween. And so for us, it was clear as crystal to put those guys into that lineup and name it a kind of reunion. Yeah. So with Uli and Grapov and Roland, it would have been a great thing, shared drum throne with Uli, but yeah, as already explained, so we decided to go the way we do now, and yeah, here we are.
Okay, cool. Okay, let me translate this to the guys. Então, galera, eu fiz essa pergunta junto, porque a pergunta que eu fiz antes foi exatamente isso, né? Quando ele entrou na banda, como estava o clima na banda, porque o Roland e o Uli, eles não deixaram a banda de forma muito amigável, né? E aí, essa pergunta aqui do Andrei foi o seguinte: por que o Roland e o Uli não participaram da Pumping United Tour? E aí ele falou assim, ele até falou, puta, eu tava com medo desse tipo de pergunta, né? Mas ele falou assim, cara, quando a gente pensou nisso, a gente chegou a pensar nisso, mas aí eles, tanto o Uli quanto o Roland, são partes importantes, são integrantes importantes da banda durante um período de tempo, mas eles não fizeram parte do início da banda. Então eles, quando pensaram assim, pô, vamos trazer o Kai Hansen de volta, porque ele é o fundador junto com o Marcos e com o Michael, né? Então, tipo assim, vamos trazer esse... E aí, logicamente, que eles tinham que trazer o Michael Kiske junto, porque foi uma parte super importante dessas duas fases, né? Do Michael Kiske e do Andy Darius. Então, ele também falou, assim, que a banda tem se dado muito bem e que cresceu muito, né? Que a banda tá maior do que nunca e que eles estão felizes com essa nova situação. E eles também estão vendo que os fãs estão felizes. Então, isso é muito legal. Let's go, Gilson. One more chat.
Okay.
Isso aí.
Can you hear me now? It's okay now?
Yeah, it's better.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. S. Schneider, who said $20, say, Dan is awesome. I read that Andy Darius said once that Danny recorded My God-Given Right without a metronome. I want to hear from Danny about his drum kit with 4 kick drums.
Okay.
Did you got that?
Yeah, okay. Seven Sinners was the first album. We decided to go back a bit more to that non-overproduced and polished record stuff. So we wanted to go back more to the 80s, you know, where the records were recorded or made without any click. So, and we checked it out. That was the first time. I was a bit concerned about it. I mean, I was a bit flustered and nervous. So, wow, to record such kind of music. I mean, Aquiles, you know quite well what I'm talking about. To record
absolutely.
Nowadays, fast stuff without a click could be an experience in the studio. So I entered. So we checked it out, and it turned out to sound great. And everyone has to follow that natural human click. And during the recording process, I got more into it. And so it turned out to be a really cool sounding, human sounding album again, as it was in the 80s. So,
cool.
But of course, a bit more refined nowadays because of the knowledge of timing and precision and stuff. So that was the reason. So we did it with Seven Sinners, with what was the next album? Straight Out of Hell. So now it comes to and God-Given Right.
Okay.
And this time, this new Pumpkins United album, we brought in on top. We brought in a rolling tape machine. We recorded the drums.
I saw some pictures of you guys in the studio with
and
this tape thing.
Amazing.
And that was amazing. I've never thought that big difference. It sounds so I can't explain. You have to hear it. It's completely different to when you record with HD only. You know, it's so warm, more pressure. Yeah, it's almost a kind of the refined 80s sound. Yeah, I'm speechless to say so.
Okay,
but it takes a lot of stress. And about 4 bass drums.
Uh-huh.
I don't have 4 legs. Okay, that's true.
But it looks great on stage.
But what's wrong here? But I mean, we play heavy metal music, and heavy metal music supposed to be a rock show, and everyone has watched Kiss live with Eric Carr, Alex Van Halen, and they offered a big rock show. And I mean, you Aquiles, you don't have 4 bass drums, but you have 10,000 toms as Nico. And to be honest, for me it's supposed to be a part of a rock show.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I said, hey, when I got the chance to go on stage with 4 bass drums to afford that luxury thing, I will do it. For me, it's part of a rock show.
Absolutely.
And even on big stages, we are meanwhile a big drum kit with 4 bass drums can look like a small, tiny thing. Yeah. So can you imagine how it would look like if you played with just 2? It would be like this. So
even
for me,
smaller.
it looks awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like the band and the management, like allowed you to do this, because usually they say, no, this is too many. This is too much gear. We don't need this because you are not playing. This is all just for the stage, so we don't need it. And usually the guitar players, they would love to have much more stacks, and guitars. So this is cool that they allowed you to do your stuff.
Of course. Actually, they came up with that idea. I remember the first tour I came up with this 5 tom stuff, 2 bass drum, this standard heavy metal thing. And they said, why don't you play a bigger drum kit? And I said, no, I'm humble and blah, and blah, and yeah,
Cool.
you know. And so here we are talking about 4 bass drums.
That's cool.
Let's translate this.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me translate this. O nosso amigo ali perguntou, né? Sobre metrônomo, né? Sobre como é que se ele teria gravado sem metrônomo e tal. E ele comentou que desde o Seven Sinners, em 2010, eles passaram a experimentar aquela coisa dos anos 80, né? De gravar a bateria, a banda inteira, gravar sem metrônomo, que era como era feito antigamente, para dar uma cara mais humana para o trabalho. E agora, nesse último disco, inclusive, que eles estão trabalhando, e isso tem até algumas fotos também na página do Helloween que eu já vi, eles estão trabalhando com rolo, né? Trabalhando não com digital, mas sim gravando em fita. E ele falou que isso dá um som impressionante, com mais pressão, mais quente, e ele está muito empolgado com essa sonoridade que eles encontraram agora. E a outra parte da pergunta falava sobre os 4 bumbos, né? E ele falou, cara, isso é um show de rock e é isso. Ele acha legal. Citou Alex Van Halen. O que mais que ele citou aqui? Ele citou
Eric Carr
do Kiss, o próprio Aquiles com os seus 500 tons e tal. Também usa 4 bumbos, não usa, Aquiles?
Eu tenho no kit do Brasil, eu tenho, né? Aqueles 4 bumbos.
Eu lembro. Então, isso faz parte do show, né? E o Aquiles ainda complementou perguntando se nunca pegaram no pé dele, né? Porque normalmente o manager tenta limar e ele disse que não, e isso é legal, porque o Helloween, querendo ou não, uma banda de guitarristas, né? Que sempre tem guitarras, mais cabeçotes, e deram esse espaço para ele também.
Legal. So I saw like some pictures of your recordings, and I saw that you were using Ingo's kit that he played back in the day. How was that feeling for you? And how was like the drum sound?
To be honest, to checking out if it works, this guy who bought this drum case, Mike, his name, from Hamburg. I bumped into him at the really last show we did together with the Pumpkins United, and he came up during the after show party and said, "Hey, listen, guy, I bought the Ingo drum kit," and I thought, "Oh, that's a great idea." And when we were talking about the recordings, so Charlie and I had this idea, hey, what about bring in Ingo's drum kit? That's the original Keeper drum kit, and it would be a great idea to have this sound with the original voice and the old player and so on to fulfill or to accomplish this mission of Pumpkins United. So he sent me a couple of toms to check it out with drum heads and stuff, and now it comes. So I put on some pinstripe, Remo pinstripe, because that's the original sound from the 80s, even though I haven't thought it as you. So, and then I checked out the toms, and I played Eagle Fly Free, because that's one of my favorite songs live.
Wow.
You know. And I played that song, and fucking hell, I got goosebumps. You know, it gave me goosebumps because this tom was part of the recordings of Eagle Fly Free, and now I'm so grateful to be able to play that tom, you know, and this sound.
Amazing.
And that gave me goosebumps. And when we had the entire drum kit in the studio, man, Sonor signature with pinstripes on in this original recording room in Hamburg, it was like I completely was freaking out every day. Even the view of a drum kit, it was like I was back in my childhood when I was. I watched every drum kit, and to watch a drum kit, it's still for me today. Wow, it's better than sex, and so I really love watching this drum, and to play and record the new Pumpkins United album with this original drum sound. That was amazing. And on top, we found some old studio recordings of Ingo. So we compared the drum tunings. We tuned.
Wow.
We used the same drum tuning, pitch-wise, as Ingo did. Snare drums and bass drums and toms. Of course, the snare drums we had to change. I mean, we are living in the modern world, and with the Sonor signature drum, so that's the only drum we changed to song. But the rest, it has the same tuning as the Keeper.
Cool. Go, Gilson.
Are you guys trying to recreate just the mood, the sound, or the compositions are like the same thing? You're trying to do thinking like the band was doing in the 80s.
Yeah, we tried. We always trying. The idea was, what could you do as a band from the 80s to be a bit more stand out? And when you listen to all these nowadays heavy metal bands, they sound all the same. Same Pro Tools, same triggers, same samples. Of course, money is a thing, blah, blah, blah. So we decided, hey, we are together. We are a band from the 80s, you know, and so bring back the old sound, you know, what new bands can't do because they don't come from this area. So we brought this old sound because this old sound made this band where the band is nowadays. Why not bringing back the sound that has to be Helloween, you know? It's a distinctive feature from the 80s. Listen to the Keeper sounds, the drum sound. I mean, it's a distinctive feature of this period of time. So, and now we are able to bring this sound back. So why not doing it together with a rolling tape and the same rehearsal room or recording room? And that was the idea behind this all. And songwriting, hey, we just write the songs. We are Helloween. We are not into what's hip and we don't follow any regulations
Cool.
and sayings or
Yeah, you don't have to.
recommendations.
Yeah.
No need to.
We do
Yeah.
whatever we want to do. We are from the 80s. We will sound like the 80s forever.
Okay, so were you a fan of Helloween back in the day when you started playing? And tell us about the configuration of this drum kit that you use, the sizes, the depth, and everything else.
Of course. I mean, of course, I was a fan of the 80 metal at all.
Okay. Cool.
Not only Helloween, but Helloween is a part of my record vinyl collection. And the crazy thing about this is, from a certain point in my life, and now it comes, I knew the day will come where I play for this band.
Amazing.
I knew it.
Amazing.
When
Cool.
I was a little kid, somehow at a certain point in my life, I knew I'm going to make it.
Wow, amazing.
This band will be my band. I will be playing for this band at a certain point in my life. That's crazy.
Amazing.
When I got the phone call, I realized what the hell is going on. Not what the
Cool.
hell, what the heaven is going on.
Yeah.
Because I believe in God. So,
Cool.
so I completely was freaking out. And sometimes I have to tweak myself or, hey, it might sound superficial, but as a dream came true, you know, I live we are drummers, we can make a living with our drums. It's we are blessed and to play.
It's amazing.
I always wanted to be a band drummer, to play in a band. And
Cool.
it's crazy to think about or talk about Helloween. I mean, I've been in the band for so long now, and it's crazy. It's just crazy. And what was the question again?
Configuration of the drum kit.
The configuration. Right. It was I used a 10 by 10 tom, a 12 by 12, a 14 by 14,
Power
15 by 15,
Wow.
and a 18 by 18.
Wow.
No, 18 by 20. 18 by 20 stand tom. Man,
My God.
the space between the floor and the rim was
Like this.
2 centimeters.
I never
And the
saw
sound was
like a floor tom 18 by 18. It's always 18 by 16. So I can't imagine the sound. And especially like when it comes to drums like Sonor, it's this thick, right?
Hey, it's a bucket like, I don't know, like a skyscraper. But the sound of those shells, I had to play on those. Oh man, it's an erection.
What about the bass drums? 22 by 22 or 22 by 18?
Again?
What about the bass drums? 22 by 18?
Aquiles?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
The bass drums,
Yeah.
22 by 18.
Okay, cool, standard. Okay, let's translate this because this is a really cool information for the guys. Você quer fazer, Gilson?
Começo eu tava focado aqui no chat. Começa aí.
No começo. Qual que era a pergunta? Ah, tá. Ele estava falando de bateria e tal. Aí eu falei para ele, né? A pergunta 7 era tipo assim: como foi para você utilizar o set que era do Ingo, né? E eu não sabia dessa história. Eu achei que esse set tivesse com a família dele ainda. Eles foram lá e pegaram. Mas ele contou que no último show da turnê que ele fez, ele encontrou um fã, veio até ele e falou para ele: cara, eu que comprei a bateria do Ingo, que ele gravou os Keepers, tal, não sei o quê. Aí ele começou a trocar ideia com esse cara e ele e o Charlie tiveram a ideia de experimentar essa batera, né, que tem mais de, sei lá, quase, sei lá, uns 30 anos. E aí ele pegou os tons dessa batera só, né? Botou umas pinstripes, que ele falou assim, mesmo eu sendo um artista da Evans, como você é, eu queria buscar aquele som que o Ingo tinha na época, e aí a gente ficou prestando atenção na afinação que ele usava, tal, para chegar o mais próximo possível. E aí eles falaram assim, bom, já que
ele tocou Eagle Fly Free. Aí ele tocou Eagle Fly Free.
Exatamente, ele tocou Eagle Fly Free e ele falou, cara, eu não acreditei naquilo que aquilo estava acontecendo. E aí, mais no fim, ele pegou e falou uma coisa que foi muito legal, assim, que eu perguntei para ele se ele gostava da banda quando ele começou a tocar, né? E ele falou, cara, eu sempre fui fã da banda e eu não sei como, mas desde o começo eu sabia que um dia eu ia entrar nessa banda, eu ia fazer parte dessa banda, que ela ia ser minha banda. Isso foi legal pra caralho dele ter dito isso. E aí eu perguntei da configuração, né, meu? Pensa bem, uma batera, tom de 10x10, 12x12, 14x14, 15x15 e o surdo de 18x18.
20, né? Não foi por 20 que ele falou?
Não, ele falou 18x18.
18x20?
18x20 or 18x18? The floor tom. 18x18?
Oh, vice versa. 20. What is it? 20x18. Yeah. 18 in diameter. 18.
And 20.
And 20.
18 diameter.
Uh-huh.
20.
Fuck, it's even bigger. Ok. Então é isso mesmo. 18.
Ele falou que era isso aqui do chão.
Do chão, é. Os pezinhos ficavam isso aqui do chão. Cara, então deve ser um canhão, né? E os dois bumbos de 22x18. E, cara, a batera, tipo assim, a sonora, elas são muito grossas. Não sei se vocês lembram que na turnê do Live After Death, do Iron Maiden, o Bruce Dickinson costumava pisar em cima,
pular, né?
Pular em cima, assim, não acontecia absolutamente nada na batera, porque era dessa grossura, né? E aí, acho que foi mais ou menos isso que ele falou,
eu perguntei, né, no meio disso sobre composição, se eles estavam buscando também a composição, além da sonoridade dos anos 80, e ele falou, cara, a gente veio dos anos 80 e hoje as bandas são todas iguais, então a gente tem mais é que usar essa experiência que a banda tem, os fãs e a sonoridade que a gente já teve, o que fez a banda foram os anos 80, então a gente está sem vergonha de ser feliz.
Cool, né? Gilson, let's go for one more chat, please.
Okay, let me find it first.
Okay. I can tell you which one. It's the Eder Andrade.
Yeah, it's Eder, but I think he already responded that question.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
But I'm gonna read it anyway. Okay.
Cool.
TVMaldita, best YouTube channel ever. Daniel, do you consider if Ulikash joined to the tour, your life could be easier during the gigs, and why he and Roland were invited? You already respond that, but
yeah, exactly. It's done.
To read the question.
Jean Tavares.
Okay, I read. Could you?
Yeah, actually.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, exactly. But this one, you already replied. This is cool. We are just putting here. It's done already. Tá puta de um atraso, né? Vai lá.
Because the connection is really, really bad. I just hear bits and pieces. So.
Okay, so.
Jean Tavares, R$2. Tell about olds. That's gonna.
Não, isso aí. Não, isso é piadinha. This is a Brazilian joke.
Brazilian jokes.
David Arruda.
Eu lembro.
Você tem que ler antes, Gilson.
Eu não li antes.
A galera não perdoa.
Can I read this? I do it slow for the connection. David Arruda, who sent 1890. How was the drum solo duo with Ingo on Pumpkin United tour? Was it your idea or suggestion or anyone else? What a moment. Did you got that?
Mm-hmm. What a moment. Okay. Do you hear me? Yeah, all good.
Yeah. It's okay for us.
Okay. We're talking about when we were talking about when we were talking about the Pumpkin tour at the end of, when was it? 2016, after the God-Given Right tour, we had a come together, a gathering with Kai, Michi, and all the guys who wanted to be involved. So our tour manager Costa, I guess you know him, Aquiles.
Yeah.
He had a great idea. What about bringing Ingo with us on stage? So, and I thought, let's give me thought to this. And I was tossing around with ideas, and somehow it clicked, and I had this idea of why not cutting a video and pretend doing a drum solo with him, a drum battle. And it ended up with this amazing drum show with Ingo every night, which was a highlight. For actions were quite overwhelming. And at the beginning, sometimes my eyes, because we're touching, and to see Marcus and the old guys standing at the edge, at the side of the stage with tears in their eyes. Wow, man, that prompted me on to do even more, but it was quite emotional for every of us. Almost every night it was emotional through the entire tour, to have Ingo with us on tour. It was, I can't describe it. It was quite emotional, and for me, it was important to have Ingo with us on stage. Without Ingo, we wouldn't have been Pumpkins,
O alemão entrou na caverna definitivamente, cara.
A minha pergunta que eu tenho para fazer é desse assunto aí.
Hey, Danny. So, I think it's better you try to find another room because your connection is very, very bad now. We can barely, hear you.
Shall I?
Ele tá nos anos 80.
Yeah. Why don't you try that previous room? I think the connection there was better. Vai responder nessa aí, Gilson, enquanto a gente volta no túnel do tempo.
Vou tirar ele aqui. Esperar que ele volte. Respondendo o quê?
Então, a pergunta que a gente perguntou, né? Perguntou para ele sobre o rapaz aqui, o David, né? Falou se esse negócio do solo foi dele. A ideia de trazer o Ingo de volta para essa turnê se foi dele, né? Ou se foi de mais alguém, né? E aí ele disse que foi do Costa Zafirou, que eu conheço esse cara. Ele foi batera do Pink Cream, então eu conheci ele através do Dennis Ward, e ele também tocou naquela banda Unisonic. Ele era o batera dessa banda, e ele também é manager do Helloween, então ele trabalha. Eu me lembro que quando a gente entrou em contato com o Michael Kiske pro Rock in Rio, foi esse cara com quem a gente falou para fazer a negociação toda, né? Então, ele falou que foi muito legal e que era muito emocionante, que quando ele pensou nessa ideia que o Costa disse, seria legal se a gente trouxesse o Ingo, ele falou assim, a gente podia botar um pedaço do solo dele e a gente fazer um negócio junto todas as noites. E ele falou que ele se emocionava muito, né? Que foi uma ideia muito boa e que funcionou muito bom e mostrou, né, a importância que o Ingo sempre teve na banda, né, cara? Eu costumo falar assim que o Ingo, acho que foi o pioneiro assim no power metal, assim, foi o cara que deu uma direção diferente, né? So, can you hear me?
Mate, I don't.
So, Danny, I think the connection in the other room.
Can you hear you? I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah.
But not as good.
I know, but
I have no
connection
idea what's going on, so.
Okay, the connection was better in the other room. I think you should go back there. Travou de novo.
Viu? Não é só o meu computador.
Oh man. Hey.
Alemães também travam.
Okay, hang on.
Okay, yeah, go back to the other room.
Enquanto isso, a gente vai falando em português. O que eu fiquei impressionado, cara, é que já deu para ver o quão ele é altruísta com relação ao fato de ele ter entrado numa banda depois, assumir o trabalho de 2 bateras que fizeram algo sensacional, importantíssimo para o heavy metal, e ele aparentemente realmente não se incomoda com isso de, tipo, não vou dizer ficar na sombra dos caras, mas de realmente levar à frente um trabalho que já estava sendo feito e não, sabe, impor o próprio estilo ou a própria sonoridade. Né?
Que tanto, né, foram 2 épocas que foram foram períodos muito fortes, né, da banda, né? Tipo, tem discos que são muito clássicos daquilo ali, né? E outra coisa que eu quero saber, se ele sabe o que o Ulikash anda fazendo.
Da vida.
Se ele parou de tocar, se ele não toca mais. Vamos esperar ele voltar da caverninha do Dark. Porque a caverninha do
Dark. Até porque o Dark é na Alemanha, então ele deve estar
exatamente. Eu tentava até perguntar para ele sobre o TV show Dark. Se ele participou, se ele fez...
ele tá lá, eu acho.
Nos
anos 80, inclusive.
Nos anos 80, inclusive. Puta, sensacional. Tudo fechou, cara. Meu Deus do céu.
Eles foram para lá para gravar o próximo disco.
Viu? Ele não voltou mais?
Cara, ele... Não, agora tá voltando. Peraí. Tá quase lá.
Aí.
Hey!
Much better. Much better.
I prefer your background.
Is it better now?
Yeah, better. Yeah, cool.
Okay,
so let's keep going. So how important is Ingo's legacy within the band and especially in the German metal scene?
That's a good question. A really good question. I mean, Ingo's footprints are amazing, and he inherited down the line a lot because at his time, he brought a lot of crazy ideas onto the table, which I haven't heard before, with all this right symbol pattern thing, and everything was kind of strange and unheard. For me, he was the first I've heard it from. The first time I've heard it from, all these distinctive features, right bell patterns, and his drum fills. It was really unique, and I think it comes from, he's a self-taught drummer, and as a self-taught, you come up with more creative and more strange ideas in a sense to a studied musician. So it's more fresh, and I picked up the pieces of him and tried to make my own out of it, and I'm really grateful for his idea and to keep up his legacy, because without him I wouldn't be here, or in a sense of a drummer, you know. He gave me a lot, and he still gives me a lot. And for the speed metal scene in Germany, I think he did a lot. He was one of the first speed metal drummer in the sense of speed metal in Germany. And his style is not only double bass drumming. He is, for me, he's still alive. He is quite diverse. He has this kind, or even to play in Helloween, put it that way, to play in Helloween, you have to play double bass drum, speed metal, you have to play more solid rock songs, such as I Want Out, Future World, or Dr. Steen. I haven't heard, until today, I haven't heard a speed metal drummer playing, for example, Future World or I Want Out on a proper way. It sounds it always sounds like, okay, a speed metal drummer plays a groove. And, or if I Could Fly, for example, it's a really poppy, samba-oriented drum thing. And I mean, Ingo's legacy, it's my basic. It's my base where I come from, meanwhile, because I had to adapt all his ideas. So, and I made the best out of it. And now I'm in the band for such a long time. I've been in the band for such a long time. And yeah, as I told you at the beginning of this session, all his ideas are, I soaked it somehow.
Cool.
For me, my opinion, he was a really important drummer at his time and for this German metal scene. And yeah, hey.
Okay,
Ingo,
so Andre,
you're
okay,
wrong.
awesome. Andre sent a really cool question. He's asking here, what are the most difficult songs to play from Ingo and Kush era?
Kush era, for me, a really tricky song is Burn.
Burn? We burn. We burn.
We burn. We burn. Because there's a really crazy double bass from lick in, and you have to change your balance all the time. That's a tricky song for me, for my technique. Yeah. And Ingo, I mean, there's a tricky song from Ingo. I mean, every song from Ingo is tricky because to get up every night with his energy he brought in, that's the tricky part. Even on tour, to keep up with his level of energy he brought in. Not technical wise, it's not that tricky job, but the heart, the energy, the spirit of Helloween, that's a good explanation. To explain the thing, that's a good thing. The spirit of Helloween, to keep this with the drums up, that's the most important and tricky thing for me.
Cool. And for me as a player, I can see that your style is much more closer from Ingo than Kush. You know, when you like, I can feel like that the way that you play, I can enjoy much more. Like I can feel the Ingo's spirit much more into your playing than any other drummer. It seems that you get that for you. That's cool. That's really cool.
Thank you. To hear that from a master like you, that means a lot to me. I mean, and that's exactly what I wanted to achieve. Yeah. Hey, man. That was my goal, to achieve that what you said, to put in more energy, because Helloween lives from that power, from that energy. Even if you play fast stuff as we did, if you play a 180 number or whatever with 100 BPM, you have to beat out the hell of this drum.
Yeah.
The guys wanted to have this energy rather than a precision.
To get the sound.
You know, they don't care about precision. Yeah, and that's the magic keyword in Helloween. Hey, what's up? Come on.
Cool.
Let's deliver the power and the energy. To hear this from a master like you, thank you, mate.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. Gilson, let's translate this one because this is a really good question. Eu perguntei para a galera para ele, né, qual era a importância do legado do Ingo na banda e também especialmente na cena germânica, né, de metal. E aí ele falou que na banda, né, que tudo foi... Eu me lembro que eu perguntei isso pro Kai Hansen e aí eu peguei e falei para ele quando a gente foi gravar o disco, o show com o Edu, né, falei, porra, um prazer ter você aqui, você criou as coisas, porra, você, né, pô, você e o Ingo, vocês criaram um estilo de música. Aí ele ficou até meio emocionado, que ele tinha tomado algumas caipirinhas, assim, e aí ele falou assim, cara, é impressionante, mas a gente fez aquelas músicas assim, tipo, como a gente tá numa sala, assim, ó, ele tocando, criando aquelas coisas e a gente começou a fazer as músicas assim, né? Então aí o Danny falou exatamente isso, né, cara? Que é importante pra caralho. E aí ele falou da energia do Ingo, né? Que quando ele toca assim, ele tem a parte técnica não é tão relevante, mas que a energia que ele tem é super forte e a galera da banda quer manter essa energia no palco, né? Eles não estão muito preocupados com precisão e tal, mas eles querem aquela pegada, aquela pressão. E aí eu falei para ele isso, falei, cara, ó, eu como ouvinte, né? Eu acho o teu estilo muito mais próximo do Ingo do que do Kush, né? E eu percebo que você tem muito mais, você se sente muito mais à vontade fazendo isso. E aí ele ficou agradecido pra caralho, porque ele sabe que eu também toco esse tipo de música, então eu presto atenção pra caralho nesse nível de energia que um batera tem quando ele toca, né? E outra coisa daí que uma pessoa perguntou aqui foi qual é a música mais difícil da era do Kush e qual é a música mais difícil da era do Ingo, né? E ele falou que a We Burn é bem difícil de tocar, né? Não sei se vocês lembram, mas tem aquele padrão de caixa e bumbo do refrão, né? É difícil pra caralho pra tocar mesmo, né? Hey, by the way, Danny, you know, in the past we used to play.
Fucking hell, you're insane, man.
Hey, we used to play in the beginning of Hangar. We used to play Before the War, Eagle Fly Free, and also Dr. Steen back in the day. And I was telling the guys here that last year in Brazil, we had Kai Hansen as a special guest to sing a song, Temple of Hate, that we recorded in that album, The Temple of Shadows. And then, you know, he had some caipirinhas before start rehearsing. And when he got there, I was talking to him, oh, man, it's a pleasure to have you here because, you know, you are one of the creators of the style. And Ingo was like he's still a benchmarking for all the power metal drums, and he's the guy that started all this legacy. And he was kind of emotional, and and he said, "Yeah, man, you know what is funny? We create that style and that songs just like we are doing here inside a room, and I was playing guitar and he was playing the drums, so that was something magic for that time. So this is something that I want to share with you. That was great to have Kai in our show. And you know, Brazilian guys, they love Helloween, they love Kai, so it's really cool to share this little story with you. Do we have one more chat, Gilson, from Power Metal CL?
Yeah.
Come on, let's take some question.
Yeah.
Karim Saba from Power Metal from Chile.
Ha!
Viva
Yeah,
Chile.
can read the question.
Viva Chile.
Chile Lele. What are the places in the world where you like to
Shall I
play
answer
the most?
or?
Yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
Okay. The most would you like to play the most? To be honest, I like the diversity of touring. To just play on one continent or in one country would be tedious at the end. I mean, I like playing in Brazil where the fans are completely go crazy.
Yeah.
And they've been topped by the Chileans. Argentina, I mean, South America at all. I mean, crazy fans. I like playing in Japan where they are more conducted, more respectful in a sense. You know, they are more quiet after a song, which could be quite confusing, but it's respectful. And I like playing in Latin Europe, which is quite the same as in South America. And I like it playing in North Europe, where they are more like, okay, you want that I clap my hands, so convince me. Okay, not
I
bad
know,
at
yeah.
all. Okay.
Tough guys, tough guys.
One more song. Okay. So I like playing all around the world. It might sound a bit superficial, but it is as I said. So to play around the world makes it diverse, and diversity is something I really like having in my life.
Cool.
Rather than follow one path. I mean, that would be lame.
Gilson, I think the next question is already done.
Yeah, probably.
Right? Okay, and also the question 9. The question 9 was about like when you joined in the band, did you worry about playing Ingo and Uli's compositions on the studio record, like note by note, or you did some little changes to feel more comfortable? And
during the recordings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tricky. When I entered the studio, the songs had already been written, so I had to write out every song note by note to be able to play the song at least. You know, it was in the morning. I woke up. I would get up and write out the notes, make some charts, and then I enter the studio and start recording. So, of course, there was a lot of space to bring in my personality, my drum fills, my taste, whatever. I mean, I'm not a machine. So they gave me a lot of space to, that's what I really appreciate.
Cool. Você colocou a pergunta errada aí, hein, Gilson? Aqui eu tenho a 9, mas possivelmente o teu é a primeira pergunta depois da que seria a sua. Então, galera, ele falou o seguinte, ó. Ele falou, eu perguntei para ele, né, que tipo, quando ele entrou na banda, tal, se ele se preocupava, tal, em tocar as coisas. E aí ele disse que tinha uma diferença que ele tinha que se adaptar, mas que depois ele se sentiu muito à vontade quando ele começou a gravar com a banda, né? E a forma dele gravar era um pouco diferente, então foi uma adaptação que foi tipo que com o passar do tempo foi acontecendo. E você pegou mais alguma coisa, Gilson? Que eu estava mais preocupado em ler a tua pergunta, que estava errada, do que prestar atenção no que ele estava falando.
Não.
Não, é isso aí, então. Então, beleza. Então, agora é a questão 10, Gilson. How do you prepare?
Sim.
Okay? So, how do you prepare for a tour? And how do you maintain your practice routine when you are not on tour? Do you have a drum kit at home? Is this place where you are inside your building, like at your home, or it's another building?
Okay. First of all, before we go on tour, we put a set list together, which is quite difficult because a band with so many legendary songs, to put a great set list together, it's almost pain in the arse. But when we finally, because there are so many ask for so many songs, but we have when we got it together, then I enter my rehearsal room, which is next to my house. It's a little, I would say it's my woodshed, and I have my drum kit in there, my regular drum kit, 2 bass drums, 5 toms, and all the same setup as on stage or in the studio. No 4 bass drums, just 2 bass drums, of course. And it's mixed. I can do rehearsal. Yeah, sometimes I do my demo recordings in there. It's a little recording room here. I can record for whoever I'm being able. It's a little demo studio, not as expensive as a real studio, but I can do some appropriate recordings in here. It's set up all day long, every day, 360 days a year. It's set up here for me. It's my rehearsal room as set. And then I go in my rehearsal room and I try to learn the songs inside out and get it down pat, everything. And when I'm ready, I go to the rehearsal room of the Helloween boys, which is not that far from here, maybe 2 hour ride, and then we have some rehearsals, and that's it.
Okay, do you guys like rehearse a lot when you are about to start a tour, like a week or
No.
just a couple of days? No.
We separated. We start rehearsing with just the musicians, not the singers.
Of course. As always. They barely rehearse. They always say, no, I'm going to save my voice for the real show.
Always the same.
Yeah.
No, we will have a month, 4 or 5 week rehearsals with the band or without the singers, and then we will have a 2-week rehearsal routine with the singers, and then we will have in January we will have a show run through rehearsal week with the crew, with the stage setup, with everybody from the trucker up to the catering, whatever, and then we enter the road. So that's our routine we have. So.
Ok, cool. Então, galera, eu perguntei para ele, né, tipo assim, que como que ele se prepara para uma turnê, né? E aí depois, no final, perguntei para ele também se... O que eu perguntei, Gilson? Nesse final?
Onde é que ele treinava primeiro, né?
Exatamente. E depois... E aí ele
se
pegou
eles ensaiavam muito, né? Se eles
exatamente, exatamente. Aí ele pegou e falou o seguinte, que esse lugar onde ele tá é tipo um complexo de Golgi, onde tem a sala dele, a batera dele, que ali ele tem um kit bem perto da casa dele, e ali ele tem um kit normal, sem os 4 bumbos, mas com os tons do tamanho que ele usa, tal assim. E aí ele falou que ele pratica, que ele microfona, que ele ensaia bastante ali, e depois ele vai para a sala de ensaio do Helloween, que é umas 2 horas de carro. E aí chegando lá, eles ensaiam tipo uma semana, né? Só a banda, sem os vocalistas, e depois a produção total, mais umas 2 semanas antes de começar a fazer as turnês, né? E aí a gente até brincou que os vocalistas sempre falam a mesma coisa. Não, eu vou ensaiar, vou salvar a minha voz lá pro show. Go, Gilson! The next question is all yours.
Really? Let me put on the screen in Portuguese first. Find here. In 2013, you released your drum methods, and I read somewhere that kind of.
I can't hear Gilson.
You can't hear me?
No, really? You can't hear?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Hello,
Danny?
I can't hear Gilson.
No?
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
I can hear you, yeah?
Ok, so...
gosh.
Você quer sair e voltar, Gilson?
Eu faço essa pergunta depois. Você pergunta
uma
outra
primeiro. Okay, so let's keep this question and let's go to the next one. This is a kind of tough question. This is the first tough question for you. In my years in Angra, I read a lot in Rock Brigade magazine articles that Michael Kiske said that he would never join the band again or even talk to the other Michael. Do you know what happened back at that time? And how the negotiations start to bring Kai and Kiske back to the band?
I mean, of course, we were talking about what happened. So, but Mikey was the one who said to Michi, "Hey, listen, you're sacked off your job in Helloween." So probably that was a big disappointment for Michi at all. After all this year, get sacked off, and so Michi was at a really young age back then. He was 18, 19. Maybe 20, and to get sacked off this job, this way. He was completely disappointed at what he said. He was hurt. It was quite hurtful to him, and it took really maybe 10 years to get over it. Yeah.
Pergunta errada, Gilson, na tela.
And yeah, after this, he was so disappointed of it that he was completely pissed off of this heavy metal scene because of this, you know. And it took, as already said, quite a while to get over it. And when I joined Helloween, we were already talking about this reunion thing. So back then we had given thought to it. And so it took 10 more years to get Michi back into that kind of heavy metal or rock scene. And together with Kai, we were kind of convincing him. And so they were talking about old times, and they tackled the problems from back then. And yeah, it ended up in having him back on stage. And if you believe or not, he enjoys it more than before, and he feels quite comfy and quite happy in this new lineup. And I can say we became kind of friends meanwhile, and he's so happy being on stage with us, or being back on this Helloween stage in that Helloween lineup. And he feels this kind of Helloween spirit we were talking about before. To have this spirit again, he's completely happy. Together with our new management, in a sense, he feels quite comfy and happy, and so he enjoys being on stage with us and singing the old and new songs. And now that's it. And Vaiki and Michi, before we entered the stage, they had to tackle a lot of problems from back then.
Yeah, I know.
And they did well, and now there aren't any problems anymore. And I mean, hey, that's stuff from the old days. Meanwhile, we became older, more mature, and the time heals all wounds. And so, hey, all good.
Cool. So, and how was the first reunion and the first rehearsals with everyone together? Did you have a lot to discuss, or everything was decided before rehearsals?
Before we entered the rehearsal room, the guitarist, that was the biggest part, to organize the guitars.
Yeah.
They had a meeting. They had some rehearsal before we rehearsed, so to make everything clear, crystal. And I remember quite well the first reunion rehearsal. You want to know what? It was fucking loud. 3 crazy guitarists. It was just insane. It was like 3. Kai was entering the rehearsal room and cranked up his amplifying system. It was like, oh my God. No, not really.
and everyone did like the homework, like, or they finished something inside the practice room, or everyone was ready, just in shape, and you was just playing the songs through. Don't lie to me.
That would have been a dream. That would have been a dream came true.
I can imagine.
When everybody would have been prepared. No, it was quite interesting. It was quite interesting. Which song? How was it? What was the guitar tune?
Funny, so funny.
So, but after a couple of rehearsals, all was good. Every day we rehearsed one more song, so that we could. And we worked through it within 1 month. We were ready to go. So.
Cool. Vamos traduzir essas duas aí, Gilson. Eu perguntei para ele, né, que tipo assim, que quando eu tava ali no Angra, por causa da Rock Brigade, eu vi várias vezes que o Michael Kiske falou que jamais iria voltar para a banda e que ele nunca ia falar com o outro Michael, né, que é o guitarrista original. Aí eu perguntei para ele se ele sabia o que tinha acontecido naquela época e como foram as negociações para trazer o Kai e o Kiske de volta. E aí eu já emendei para ele, né, que como foi a primeira reunião da banda, né, que todo mundo se encontrou e se eles tinham muita coisa para discutir ainda ou se tudo estava decidido. E aí eu complementei com uma outra perguntinha de shopping aqui, se todo mundo realmente fez o dever de casa e chegou lá nos ensaios prontos, né? E aí ele falou que isso seria tipo um sonho, né? Mas que nunca, que não aconteceu, que tinha um monte de parte que os caras não sabiam o que tocar, fala como é que é a guitarra aqui mesmo, tal. E aí ele falou que ele tem uma lembrança grande do primeiro dia de reunião da banda que tocou junto, que ele falou que foi muito alto, assim, foi um absurdo, assim, foi muito alto, e que o Kai chegou com a guitarra dele alta pra caralho, e aí ele disse sobre o passado, né, que ele disse assim que quando o Kiske deixou a banda, ele era muito novo, e ele ficou cansado de todo esse negócio do metal, né, ele ficou cansado e ele não queria, ele estava muito amargurado com o outro Michael, e era uma coisa assim que tinha ficado mal resolvida lá na época, e eles só soltavam farpas através da mídia. Então, isso acabou magoando muito o Michael que ficou na banda, né? Então, tipo, que eles demoraram muito para começar a se falar e eles perceberam que tinham a vontade do próprio Michael de voltar para o metal quando ele começou a fazer música mais pesada, né? Não sei se vocês sabem, mas o primeiro passo mais próximo foi o Unisonic, que foi uma banda que foi a primeira banda mais pesada que ele fez com o Dennis Ward e com o Costa, né? Costa Zafirou na batera. Então, aí eles perceberam que poderiam começar a conversar, mas foi um processo longo, né? Que antes deles voltarem a tocar realmente juntos, os dois Michaels tiveram que se sentar e realmente conversar e deixar o passado para trás, porque, tipo assim, hoje em dia eles são muito mais maduros e foi mais fácil eles superarem isso, né? Então, antes de começarem a tocar, eles tiveram que fazer isso. Go, Gilson! Teu microfone...
Go, Gilson, go!
Teu microfone estava mutado. Gilson is kind of fucking lost today. He's inside. Yeah, he's in the dark. Hey, have you seen that TV show Dark that was shot in German? How do you like that?
Again?
Have you seen that TV show called Dark? That was shot in German. No?
No, haven't.
No? It's a very cool TV show.
No, haven't
on
seen
Netflix.
it.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, and it's totally they talk like in German. It was shot in Germany.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool TV
Oh,
show.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I just watched soccer. So
Okay.
But I give it a try.
Okay, cool. Go, Gilson.
I was lost in the dark. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my question is a totally different subject. In 2013, you released your drum method, and I read somewhere that was kind of a biography beyond musical notes. That's right. And how was the reception of this book? And are you planning to make another didactic stuff like this again, maybe online?
You're talking about my drum book, right?
Yeah.
Somehow I had this idea. I had this idea in mind to write a drum book any time, anywhere. So all of a sudden, a guy contacted my management and offered them this idea, what about making a drum book with me? And I was like, hey, that's crazy, because I had this same idea. So, and the idea of the drum book is a bit, actually it's a collection of all my exercises I went through, I just wanted to give people a kind of an insight in how I practice, or about my exercises, about my approach to drumming. It's not a drum book in the sense of that's the way or that's completely new. I put a lot of exercises from other drummers as a kid, and over the years it became like a book, and I wanted to give people, as I said, just an insight of me, my drumming, and it ended up in having a book like this one. And it took a lot. I mean, Aquiles, you know exactly what I'm talking about. What does it take to get a book together, to write a book, to check it out? And I promise you, I will never do it again. even though I enjoyed rethink or refine or reinventing myself. What did I do back then, or what was the exercise? What could I suggest people? Blah blah blah. And during the writing process, I went again through my childhood a bit, and so it was quite exciting. And I think now, as I said, I will never write a book again, maybe. You never know, but an online thing, I don't know. Maybe I will do an online thing, but I'm not quite convinced about it, because, I'm a band drummer, and with Helloween, you almost have time for you almost have no time for your family. So time is really scarcely, and the time I have, I need to practice. And of course, I do have a family, and I enjoy the free time. Being on tour with Helloween, or the drama of Helloween, time, as I said, is really scarcely. And so to write a book, probably never again.
Vai, Gilson. Teu microfone tá... Isso.
Eu sei, então, tô desligando aqui. É a 14?
Não, vai na tradução, né?
Superchat. Ah, tá. Bom, eu perguntei para ele sobre um livro que ele lançou, né, um Drum Method que ele lançou em 2013, e que dizem que, inclusive, era meio que quase que uma autobiografia escrita em notas, né? Por que disso? E se ele tinha interesse em lançar mais alguma coisa, mais algum, de repente, um método online, alguma coisa assim. Ele falou que tinha essa característica de biografia porque ele reuniu coisas da vida dele inteira, né? Ele reuniu estudos dele, coisas que ele usava para estudar, acabou se tornando um livro. E ele disse, Aquiles, você sabe muito bem como é que é esse lance de fazer um livro, tomou tempo pra caramba, então, cara, eu jamais quero fazer um livro de novo na minha vida.
Boa.
Quem sabe fazer alguma coisa online, porém, o Helloween toma totalmente o meu tempo, eu mal tenho tempo para minha família, então o tempo livre que eu tenho, eu dou valor a esse tempo para estudar bateria, ou estar com a minha família, então provavelmente eu não vou ter tempo para fazer isso de novo.
Boa. Gilson, vamos só matar esses superchats aí que tem. A few more superchats and then the last question. It's almost midnight for you, huh?
Almost, yeah, almost.
Ok, vai lá, Gilson. Superchat ali do Andrei FL, ó. Andrei, essa daí a gente já perguntou, né? Como foi, tipo, da volta do Kiske e do Hansen. And Eder Andrade, tá? Vai no Eder Andrade ali, Gilson, já direto, que essa aí a gente já falou.
Tá. Eder Andrade, who sent $5. Daniel, when you are not playing drums, what do you like to do out of music?
Drink beer.
Wow, that's a really good question, because drumming is supposed to be to be my life and my hobby, so to say, but to make a hobby to your job. So I was looking for a new hobby, and I'm a sporty. I've been doing sport my life. Sport is one of the most important parts of my life. So beside the drums, I just do sport. I go to the gym and try to work out as hard as possible, as long as possible. And on top, I try to get my day routine done. I have a family, my wife. I have to do my homework. So cleaning windows, vacuum the floor, doing the dishes, cooking,
Cool.
polish the crown of my wife.
Cool.
And I like catching up with my friends. And I'm collecting vinyl. I have a really cool vinyl club here. So we have gatherings where we come together and talking about vinyl, listening to vinyl. I'm into red wine, so I'm often on red wine sessions and so on. So I just want to do what I can't do on tour and try to enjoy this. And I just try to keep a regular, normal life going, which isn't as easy
Cool.
when being on tour. So get back home. When you get back home, it's always tricky to get into this normal life day routine, and that takes a lot.
Yeah, I know.
You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So
Absolutely.
it's always tricky getting back home. And so, no, it's not room service. You are the room service now. Come on, take your fucking arms up and vacuum the floor.
Ok, go Gilson, traduza. Tá. Foi perguntado para ele o que ele faz quando tá no tempo livre, o que ele gosta de fazer. Ele falou, cara, o normal seria eu ser um baterista e meu hobby é tocar bateria também. Então, o que eu faço, na verdade, quando eu tô com tempo livre é o que todo mundo faz, cara. Varrer a casa, limpar o jardim, passar o aspirador, fazer uma massagem nas costas da esposa. E tento ter uma vida normal o quanto possível, porque quando tá em turnê é aquela loucura e é difícil voltar a esse normal quando a gente tá em turnê. É isso aí, legal. Vai, Gilson, vai ali no Diogo Rabelo. Diogo Rabelo, $20. I was at show in São Paulo when the big screen stopped working. It was bad, but the band did not give up and did a great show. Long live Helloween. OBS. Junior Carelli was to blame for falling off the screen. Do you know Junior? Yeah, this is just an internal joke. The guy, this guy who recorded,
Juninho, Carelli, see.
See?
He was on stage. He was on stage, and there was a really hot blonde chick in the first row with toys cocomellos like this size. And he was so after getting this girl that he completely forgot that he was on stage. So he plucked out the power socket of the screen, and the rest is story.
Yeah,
he has to blame for it. He is the one.
Cool. Vai, esse aí você não precisa nem traduzir, Gilson. Vai lá pra perguntinha de shopping do Dota ali, ó.
Marcus Dota, who is a drummer here in Brazil, who plays a lot of Helloween and he played with Roland Grepon in Brazil.
Yeah.
He was here. He sent $10 and said, in your opinion, what was the legacy that Uli left in Helloween with his style? And another question from him. What do you think about Burn the Raw album? Thanks a lot for the biggest Helloween fun in Brazil. Valeu, Marcos.
Valeu, Dota, festas.
Okay. As Ingo, Uli has left big footprints, of course, because he was more, compared to Ingo, he was more technical. He brought in more this kind of technical drumming into Helloween, as much as more of this progressive style of songwriting, because he was a really good, or he is a really good songwriter, such as Mr. Torture stuff. When he got into Helloween, I think, that's my opinion, Helloween got more progressive, and he came up with more this progressive bass drum patterns and this odd meters stuff. So of course that had left a lot in my drum, because I had to play all his songs and compared, plus Ingo's style. Over the years I got used. For me, meanwhile, it's quite normal to play crazy stuff on the bass drums, which wasn't before I joined Helloween. So his legacy in my drum style is more the press side of drumming, and Ingo brought in more that energetic style and more this straight ahead thing into my zone. And I see myself nowadays a kind of a great combination of Ingo and Uli. So, but I do it my own way as I feel it meanwhile. And that's what the other question, what I think about the Better Than Raw album. Better Than Raw, I mean, it's another masterpiece of Helloween.
One of my favorites.
With a lot of great songs on it. So I really like I like it a bit more, but that's my taste of music. I like it a bit more than The Time of the Oath, because it has more the sound. I like more the sound of the record.
Yeah.
It's shining bright. It has more attack. It's more a punchier sound, and it's more, for me, I think I feel it more a more refined album in a sense, but it still has this kind of spirit of Helloween, but more refined. And
let me compliment the question.
Album, it's always the matter of taste.
Cool.
We are talking about Ulikash. Do you heard about him? What he's doing in his life? Do you know anything about him? What he's doing right now?
Years ago, I've heard that he can't play drums anymore because he had something with his elbow. That was a rumor I heard about. And another rumor was that he lives in Norway and works as a carpenter or whatever. There was another rumor. But I'm not quite sure what he does nowadays. The last time I met him was on a festival where he played with Master
Plan,
but must have been, that's probably 15 years or 14 years ago. That was the last time I had a chat with him, and that was the last time I saw him personally. So I have no clue what he does nowadays, but I guess he lives in Norway, and more or less it's rumors I can tell about.
Okay, cool. Gilson, translate this one and let's go for the last one.
Ok. Marcos Dota perguntou qual era a opinião dele sobre o legado do Ulikash e também a opinião dele sobre o Better Than Raw. E eu já emendei aqui querendo saber do paradeiro do Ulikash, que ninguém mais ouve falar, se ele sabia alguma coisa. Ele falou que era inegável, né, a influência do Uli, tanto no próprio Helloween quanto nele, que ele trouxe uma coisa mais técnica, um pouco mais progressiva para o som do Helloween, com quebradas de tempo e tal. E isso acabou, ele considera que ele conseguiu imprimir isso no estilo dele, junto com o do Ingo, né, que também é uma influência forte nele. Ele diz que gosta mais do Better Than Raw do que do Time of the Oath, por exemplo. Acha que é um disco que tem um punch maior. E respondendo a minha pergunta, ele disse que tem alguns rumores, mas ele não tem certeza, porque a última vez que ele viu ele faz uns 15 anos, num festival, ainda com o Master Plan, mas que ele teria, talvez, machucado o braço, não pudesse mais tocar, uma lesão, que ele não pudesse mais tocar bateria, e outro rumor é que ele estaria trabalhando de carpinteiro em algum lugar na Noruega. Parece que ele mudou para a Noruega e está morando lá.
É isso aí. Okay, so the last questions. How are the things decided in the band? It's more between Michael Waycott and Andy Darius, or there is a vote to decide things nowadays?
Again. Say it again.
Okay. So how are the things decided in the band? It's more between Michael Waycott and Andy Darius, or there is a vote to decide the things?
I don't quite get this question. So
Okay.
I can't just hear you bits and pieces.
Okay, let me try again.
Shit.
Okay. So
oh man, German connection, hey.
No problem. No problem. So how you guys decide the things in the band? Like how do you guys make the decisions? It's more between Andy Darius, yeah. Or do you guys vote?
Got you. Okay. Now, I mean, when we have to decide something, we will be asked by a manager. So he gives us some opportunities, and so everyone can give in his opinion, what I think about this idea and whatever. So it's more or less a democracy, and at the end of the day, it's a voting. We do a voting, and then here we are. When most of the guys in the band vote for another solution, so we go for this one. The majority of the vote is deterred where we're going, huh?
Okay.
So we don't have a band boss in a sense.
Ok, cool. Então, perguntei para ele como é que eles decidem as coisas. Eles falam que eles falam com o empresário, que o empresário dá algumas opções e eles votam, né? Que não tem uma pessoa que seja o chefão da banda que decide as coisas. Last thing, brother. The Brazilian fans, they are asking me to ask you if you can show your drum kit for them. Like just show with your cell phone and explain a little bit about the configuration, the size, and blah, blah, blah. Será que vai funcionar lá dentro da caverna do Dark?
That's my little wood chat.
Cool.
Do you see it? Can you see it?
Yes,
So
beautiful.
Okay, that's I use two bass drums, just two bass drums, 22 by 18 or 18 by 22. Then I have a 12, 13, and 14 tom, followed by 16 and 18 tom, and a gong drum with 22, and of course a snare drum. Then I do have my Paiste reflector stuff. I use a 19-inch Paiste heavy full crash, and here I use a 19 heavy full crash. Then I have here a 20. Then I have here a 16-inch China down there.
Mm-hmm.
I use a 22 dark metal right here in the rehearsal room. Then I do have here on my left, again, a 20 heavy full crash of the reflector series. And then here my most beloved baby, a 22. A 22 crash of the reflector series.
Wow.
Oh, I love it. I love it a lot. Even live, I do have the same setup, but white coated, you know.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
And then I do have a specially made 14-inch dark crisp hi-hats. Yeah.
Cool.
and a little. And as a second ride, because I know a crazy drummer from Brazil who always uses 2 rides, but I have no space for 2 rides. So I stripped down. Yeah, really.
Cool.
Really, Aquiles, you inspired me playing 2 rides.
Thank you, man.
I can't carry or I have no space left for a second ride. So Paisti came up with this idea of a root bell, you know.
That's amazing.
You need
If you play
space.
that root bell,
Give up one of the kick drums.
No way. No way.
I don't think so. No way. No way. Fuck a second
Bad
ride.
idea.
I need 4 bass drum.
Yeah, for sure. So, hey,
Bad idea.
like hit this
But-
hit this little cymbal, please. Wow, beautiful. It sounds pretty much like a small ride cymbal. Cool.
Yeah, and
Amazing.
I mean it's a bit more high pitched, but if you play 2 rides, 60 note or whatever at the same time, you can't hear the difference quite well. So
Amazing.
I've
Very
been
good
doing
idea.
this for
Which song
almost
do you
10
use
years.
this? Which song do you use
Again?
both of rides? Which song
Oh,
do you used to play?
I use
With 2?
almost. I have a lot songs where I play double ride patterns. I
Cool.
don't know exactly which song. For example, a good example, I don't know. So, but I remember the first record I was using, or I used 2 rides, was the 7 Sinners. I started
Cool.
just as an effect. So I had this 16 syncopated 16 bass drum notes going, and I thought it would be nice to put on a ride cymbal, but I can't
Cool.
get my left hand over there in that
Uh-huh.
speed. So I put this bell underneath the hi-hat. So
Closer.
I played syncopated grooves, and had this double ride thing going with the bass drums. And meanwhile, I use it often during solo parts. You know, and I just play the same what I play on bass drum, continuous 16 notes, and the ride goes over it. And I think it's a nice effect to embellish a bit the solo part. But as soon as the singer comes in, the singer is in the house, the ride has to go.
Cool, Danny. Thank you so
But I
much for
really-
your time. Thank you so much for your
hooking me up.
time. Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for all the nice answers, and also for your, the way that you make your living. This is like you are an amazing drummer, a very important guy for the metal scene, but at the same time you are a very simple guy. This is really cool. So thank you so much for your time. And me and Gilson, we're going to stay a little bit more here just to translate this very last question. And thank you so much. Good night, and say goodbye to your fans in Brazil.
Hey, Aquiles, first of all, and Gilson, thank you for hooking me up, for giving me the chance to be part of this great TV show. Thank you really much. And Aquiles, I remember when I met you the first time, it was in Sao Paulo, I guess, in the hotel lobby, where you presented me your drum book. I still have it here, and I practiced a couple of things out of it. Thank you. You're quite inspiring drummer. Really, you're quite inspiring drummer. You're a master, such a talent. And hey, thank you really much for your friendship. And to all the fans in Brazil, hey, take good care about you during these hard times. Stay healthy and take care of you. And we will see each other hopefully soon in your country on stage. And yeah, hey, thank you for everything. Thanks for being a Helloween fan, because you make it possible that I can make a living with playing drums. So yeah, I really appreciate.
Cool.
Hey, no fans, we couldn't make any music, So fans are really important. No fans, no money, of course. Yeah. And yeah, but I really appreciate having fans around the world, especially in Brazil. And again, thank you a lot, Aquiles, Gilson.
Thank you, brother. Good night.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful week.
Sorry for the really bad connection.
Now,
I'm going
that's
to kill
totally
Telecom.
okay.
I'm going to kill my provider tomorrow.
This happens all the time here. But thank you so much for your time. Have a good night and start your week with a very good practicing tomorrow. Stay heavy.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Então, traduga
Demais.
aí, ô Gilson, pra gente ir pra puta que pariu, porque aqui vão ser que horas aqui? São 3 da tarde, tem salinha hoje. Hoje.
Tá, onde é que foi que a gente começou? Ele começou falando da batera dele, mostrando...
Exatamente, eu pedi pra ele falar...
Kit Ford.
O Kit Ford, que ele usa... Pô, legal a batera dele, o estúdio dele, e ele gosta dos Signature Reflectors, né? Ele usa tudo full crash.
Pra mim é um dos meus favoritos da parte.
Eu sei. E ele tem um 22, né? Aquele ali, eu tenho 20, mas 22 eu não cheguei a botar no meu set ainda, mas estou pensando, né? E aí ele falou que ele falou que por causa de um baterista louco brasileiro que usa 2 rides, ele foi inspirado a colocar um outro ride no set dele, mas ele não tinha espaço, né, para fazer aquilo. E aí ele pediu para a Pache desenvolver alguma coisa que desse. Aí eles fizeram aquele rugezinho pequeno. Aí eu pedi até para ele tocar para ver o som, assim. Não é o som tão fechado igual uma cúpula, assim, mas ele mesmo falou, né, que assim parece diferente, mas quando você toca os padrões com os dois, você não percebe muito a diferença entre eles, mas é uma forma que ele conseguiu colocar os 2 sets e ele tem usado isso já faz um tempo, né? Já faz um tempo no set
desde
dele.
Desde o primeiro disco que ele gravou, né? O Seven, alguma coisa.
E aí ele também falou, eu agradeci ele pelo tempo dele, porque lá na Alemanha são quase meia-noite agora, e falei para ele, que ele é uma pessoa muito importante no metal, na cena metal do mundo, e que ele é uma pessoa muito simples, e isso era muito legal, porque os fãs puderam apreciar isso, e ele ficou feliz pra caralho, e falou que ele tem até hoje o livro que eu dei para ele, que é aquele livro, que é um livro para você acabar com o teu pé podre esquerdo, que é o Inside My Psycho Book, 100 Double Bass Patterns, que você encontra lá no meu site. Pode passar o cartãozinho, numa boa. E ele falou que ele estudou bastante aquele livro, tal, que ele tem um livro ainda hoje. Então é muito, muito legal, assim, o cara ser tão gente fina, né? E ele gostou também, agradeceu eu e também falou Gilson, né? Você viu?
Muito legal isso. Será que ele viu a entrevista com o Nico? Não, é porque todo mundo lá fora fala Gilson.
Gilson, né? Lá fora falam Gilson. Mas ele agradeceu a gente por chamar ele, porque ele sabe que o canal está sendo muito bem visto pelos bateristas, né? Então é isso, galera. Obrigado pela
Foi demais, bem legal.
Audiência de vocês. E você, Gilson, onde é que você tá? Que você tá com as cortininhas de shopping fechadas aí atrás?
Cara, eu tô testando uma nova sala para dar uma desenjoada do meu estúdio. Que eu tenho sala sobrando. Daí a minha esposa também, ela faz uns videozinhos de shopping. Aí eu fiz essa salinha para ela.
Legal,
ela faz lá pro trabalho dela, né? As entrevistas dela, então...
Então é isso aí. Amanhã a gente volta, né, Gilson Naspolini? O que temos amanhã?
Senhor. Boa pergunta. Deixa eu abrir minha agenda aqui.
Isso eu não sei também.
Tá, calma aí. A agenda tá aberta, só baixando aqui.
Galera,
amanhã
aproveitando, abuso de estrutura na TV Maldita, que é o seguinte, o alemão Edu Falaschi teve uma ideia de me levar para o Brasil para a gente gravar o disco novo, porque as músicas já estão ficando prontas. E aí a gente está pretendendo fazer isso na metade de novembro, então eu vou para o Brasil na metade de outubro, e aí vou aproveitar para fazer algumas aulinhas de shopping aí. Se você tiver uma escola na sua cidade, entra em contato comigo no meu site, contato@aquilespriester.com, ou no meu Instagram, Aquiles Priester, e a gente conversa sobre um diazinho de aula na sua escola de shopping. O Gilson vai fazer isso, já está falando com os alunos, então se você mora em Criciúma...
seu videozinho de divulgação, hein?
Eu sei. Amanhã, hoje eu já vou fazer. E, então, galera, seguinte, ó, se você mora aí nas redondezas de Criciúma e região, marque a sua aulinha de shopping com o Gilson.
Passa
Aí,
o
ó.
cartãozinho.
É.
Tá, vou aproveitar uma estrutura e fazer uma perguntinha. Por que você vai vir gravar bateria no Brasil se o Adair tá aí? Se tem os estúdios aí. Qual é o plano?
O problema é exatamente o valor que tá o dólar. O alemão falou assim, cara, não dá pra gente gravar com o Adair dessa vez, porque o preço tá um absurdo. Tipo assim, imagine só, não tem como fazer. Então, para ele é mais vantajoso pagar a passagem e fazer. Aí eu perguntei para ele onde que você quer gravar, né? Para saber também se eu iria aceitar ou não. Mas aí ele falou, cara, a gente pode fazer lá no Thiago. E no Thiago Bianchi tem aquela piscininha festa que ele não usa, é uma festa, então ia ser legal também para gravar com o Thiago. E ele já me gravou em 3 discos, então ele sabe muito bem como é que funcionam as coisas.
Thiago é fera.
Foi sensacional, então vai ser melhor assim. E assim também eu aproveito para mudar os ares um pouco, né? Cara, eu tô há 7 meses...
Para não sentir o bafo do carneiro, né?
Cara, eu tô há 7 meses em casa, tipo assim, às vezes eu vou pro outro quarto ali, vou pra sala e eu faço de conta que eu não tô aqui. É tipo aquelas, bem aquela sensação que o Danny falou assim, sabe quando você volta de turnê e você não sabe o que fazer em casa? Então, eu tô assim há 7 meses já.
Você deve estar mais em casa do que quando trabalhava na Dana, né?
Cara, muito mais em casa. Até na Dana eu tinha que viajar bastante pra caralho. Então, meu Deus do céu, que saudade de tocar ao vivo. Eu sei que não vai dar pra fazer workshop, mas fazer umas aulas já vai ser legal, porque já pego o meu busão e saio pela estrada, que é uma coisa legal. Aí vai ser muito divertido também. Então é isso. Como é que vai ser amanhã, Gilson?
Como viver bem da bateria em sua região, com Jorge Aniello, meu parceiro Cristiano Forte, que é aqui da região sul também, Aquiles Priester e Gilson Naspolini, que vocês já conhecem.
Gilson Naspolini, aquele que desaparece depois da live de quinta e só aparece na segunda.
Estou aqui agora.
Ah, caraca, você
em nova sala.
Onde
nova
você
versão.
anda, Gilson? Teu rabo. É isso aí, galera. Obrigado pelo tempo de vocês. Podem todo mundo agora pra puta que pariu fazer alguma coisa útil aí no Brasil.
Nossa,
que aí já são 8.
Petisquinho.
Não, aí já são 8?
7.
7 horas. Maravilha.
7 horas.
Então é isso aí, Gilson. Obrigado. Ai, que chorinho. Vou pra salinha. Vou comer uma coisa pra salinha. Falou, tchau, gente. Valeu,
galera.
Gilson. Obrigado, abraço.
Valeu.